Hello, my friends. It's Friday, last day of the week, and most importantly, last day I and my girlfriend have kids for the next 7 days. Oh, yes. The joys of divorce. I'm Lawrence Presman. You're watching Puck Time. Carmine Bianco with us, Dave Koken. No Andrew McGinnis. Andrew is gone on a small vacay. So I hope he has the best time ever because he certainly deserves it. He's done a lot of heavy lifting during COVID. Let's start with you, Dave. I love the man in black. The glasses, the shirt, the hat. How you been, brother?
I'm fine. Went 0-2 yesterday, so I had a little bump in the road. Lost the Flames, which was a crazy game.
I will talk about that for sure.
And missed by a mile on a total in baseball. But if you're going to miss, you may as well miss big. But I'm already 1-0 on Friday because I won a KBO play this morning and just posted a best bet in baseball. I have a second play up. That's for all access folks, people who are on for my package. And I will have a hockey play, and I think I'm going to probably make it a free play. I haven't decided yet. So we'll decide while the show's on whether it's a free play or a pay play, and I'll let you know at the end of the show.
He's Dave Koken. You can find him at Dave Koken on Twitter. He's always a good follow. Dave, I had the same day, man. I had the under in the Baltimore game in baseball. Yeah, I don't think that game would have gone under if it was 6 innings long. Well, actually, factually, it would have, but you know what I mean. And I also had the Vegas Golden Knights in regulation. So I had an 0-2 day, and man, I don't do well with that stuff. Jesus Christ. Yesterday, one of the people commented in the posting forum, what's great about WagerTalk is they really care if you guys win or you lose. And that's so well said, Carm. You and I talk about it all the time. Man, I don't take these losses well at all. I'm barely functional. What's up, brother?
Yeah, no, I get it. I'm the same way. I watch anything I put out, I bet on, and when I bet on them, I like to watch them. And I had 2 or 3 screens of different games going. But yesterday, Tampa Bay, that Tampa Bay Columbus, they made me eat my shoe. Korpisalo, and we'll talk about that. He just unbelievable, that guy. And it's one of those days. I had a 1-2 day, and I really felt like it was. I had a 3-0 day.
Yeah.
If someone tells you the score is going to be Columbus 2-1 after the first period, and you have over 5.
Yeah.
You're going to the bank all day long, especially because the minute Tampa scores, you've got a push at worst. Dallas saved the night for me.
You had the right side there. I lost it with the Flames, and it was a little frustrating the way they lost, but Dallas was clearly the right side in the game. They just play. But one thing we're not going to really talk about that game today. Because they're not playing today, but I got to tell you something. Well, yeah, they are.
Yeah, they play tonight.
Yeah, all right. I'll hold my thoughts until that game.
Okay.
I think we have the same thought on that one. And then same thing with the Vegas Golden Knights in regulation. You give up that goal at the end of the second period. It's kind of tough because it's now 3-3. The Hawks are back in it. If not, they're chasing in the third period. And then we still had a chance to steal it at the end with Stone, where he missed the net in close. So those are the ones you have. It's a 1-2 day, and it really sucks because not only are you losing yourself, but then you feel bad for the guys who tailed you.
Okay, boys, everybody, welcome to Puck Time. Thank you for joining us. Raymond Reddington, Bob Hope, love seeing you. Superman, you are our MVP. Doogie, one short ward, Montreal with extra motivation. We're going to talk about that, brother. Toma, nice to see you. Mixed by Post. Talk sports with JT. He must be in this game. Welcome, JT. Isaac Kim, what's going on? Anthony M, Michael BH, all of you guys. Trent, love seeing you, man. One of our best customers, Terrell McKay, how are you? Eric Chang, Jerry Parker, on and on and on. It's a privilege to host this show, especially when you guys take time out of your day to watch it and to participate in it. We just had a thumbs down. We're only like 5 minutes in.
It's because the guy that usually tunes in late.
Yeah. Our thumbs down guy never works this early. Okay, Colorado, Arizona. Dave, I'm going to you first on this game. Look, Colorado completely and utterly dominated this game last time. I turned to a friend of mine and I'm like, Jesus, I think my D-League team could get 10 shots on goal in a game. They're like, you couldn't even get 10 times into the offensive zone, which is probably correct. Normally we would see a flip-flop here. We would see Arizona be, yelled at and new game plan. They'll come out. They'll play much better. The problem is that I just feel like these two teams are there's such a difference between them. I don't know how Arizona can win this game or any game against Colorado in this series. I like Colorado in regulation. And I like under the total, Dave. I'll go to you first.
Yeah, there's no way I'd play the game because I don't want to lay that kind of price. And whatever Arizona's got in the tank, you would think they'll show here, but they just don't match up well with this team. The speed factor was on display the entire opening game, and I mean you can make adjustments, but it's still just a fundamental difference between the two teams that physically Colorado just appears to have too much for Arizona. Yeah. And I think it's going to be a better game. I would expect the Coyotes to make this a more competitive game. They were completely, even though it was 0-0 till well into the third period, it was not a particularly competitive game. I think the Coyotes will be more competitive here, but I just don't think they can beat this team. To me, if you're going to take Arizona, look for them to lose this game and then get them in the first period in Game 3, because that'll be an empty the tank situation. But that's all I'm going to do. My strategy here is just to sit this one out, expect the Avalanche to win, and then take a shot at some plus money
in Game 3
in the first period in Game 3.
Yeah, I mean, Carm, what Dave is saying is right, and we, default name, one of our listeners just put in the Coyotes at a players-only meeting. Look, I mean, if you and I were doing a tug of war against the Mountain and, some other muscular guy, the fact that we have a Carm Lawrence only meeting prior to the tug of war isn't going to help. We're still going to lose. That's how I feel, bro. I just can't see how this Arizona team matches up. And the other thing I just wanted to make mention of is I agree with Dave. I think we're going to see a much closer game. I think we're only going to be about 8 shots apart by the end of the game. But I think we're going to see a bigger score. Colorado was snake bitten in their last game. So, even though this game will probably look closer on the ice, I don't think it'll be much closer at the end. What do you like here, bro?
Yeah, and first, as an aside, it's
one short. One short.
But anyways, with that said, I agree with Dave on this, but listen, 40 to 14 shots on goal. I said before Game 1 of the series that the only way the Coyotes could beat the Avalanche is to try and get them to play the Coyotes style of play, a tight checking, and they this is what they did. They just tried to clog up the neutral zone, play well defensively, but at the end of the day, it's that one goal that goes in, and it's just for a pun intended, an avalanche of goals that come in, and that's what happened. Is they held on. We knew we were watching that game, and we knew it was a matter of time. You could tell that that dam was about to burst, and it did. With those 3 goals in like 90 seconds or whatever it was. I just don't see how the Coyotes can stay with the Avalanche in this series. It's not going to go more than 5 games. It could go 5 games if they steal a game. But I haven't seen anything to give me any indication that the Coyotes can win today. Don't want to lay that big price, so you might want to go with that 3-way line in regulation time and take the Avalanche, and you can get them at, I think, about $1.30, $1.35.
Yeah, I'm with you there, dude. And I don't even mind them on the, take them at -1.5, take them -2.5. Smash that like button, just like John Howard said, and thanks for trying to get us to 100 likes, Raymond. One Shot Ward. Sorry for mispronouncing your name. I'll do it again, I promise. And also, Scott, thank you. I mustn't think, just look pretty. Okay. Anyway. Okay, so let's go. Montreal, Philadelphia. Koken, you've been doing this a long time, man. How many coaches have been yanked out of a series because they are having chest pains? And Kirk Muller taking over could be galvanizing for this team. They played a really strong game against Philadelphia last time out. I mean, they literally hit the crossbar with a few seconds to go. I think if Montreal gets a game, it's going to be this one. Where are you going?
Yeah, I'm not going to read anything into the coach situation because it's strictly a guess. I don't know if it has any impact, or it might be motivation, or it might be something that creates confusion. I don't know. What I do know is that Philadelphia still hasn't lost a game, and they're playing well, and it is tough to go against them. But I think the Canadians can come out of game one, and despite the fact that, they got outplayed some. In the second period, they were really good, but overall they got outplayed, and Price kept them in the game with that one save was unbelievable. It's still one of the most amazing saves I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Not to take anything away from the other guy. Hart was absolutely just as good for the Flyers. But I think the Canadians can come out of that game and say, you know what? We can play heads up with them. And that makes them kind of dangerous today. The zigzag has been working somewhat in the NHL so far, and I think there's a decent chance Montreal pulls the upset.
Yeah, I'm with Dave. I think this is this is Montreal's game today. One shot. I am not stressed at all, man. I just woke up. I'm feeling groovy. I have a management call with Johnny and Rick at 1. After that, I'm going to be lying at the pool reading my book. I am now currently reading the Gray Man series, written by Mark Greaney. I highly recommend it, but I'm really big on those assassin, Robert Ludlum, kind of things. Mitch Rapp's my favorite in the world. Carm, where are you going in this game?
Yeah, talking to one of my friends who's a Habs fan. Yeah, I know he's still a friend. He had the one of the funniest lines I've ever heard. He goes to me, for Montreal to win tomorrow, they really have to outscore the Flyers. And I just had to...
That's some deep stuff. We should actually get him on the show with that kind of analysis.
Yeah. He's a Habs fan. But no, I get what he was trying to say, which is the Habs aren't going to win a 2-1 game against the Flyers. It's not going to happen. I'm sorry. If you believe in the zigzag theory, or that maybe there's a Habs rallying cry behind, for Claude Julien, they're going to have to score 3 or 4 goals to win this game. The one thing I did notice in that third period of that last game is the game started to get a bit of an edge to it. It was a little more chippy, and and we didn't see a lot of penalties. I think we only saw 5 or 6 penalties. I say we see a few more penalties today, a few more power plays, and with that, maybe a few more goals. The total's at 5 here. And it's a reaction to, the Flyers have gone under 7 straight games, I believe it is now. I'm actually leaning to the over here, over 5. I think that's a play. An early game in Toronto, and I think we see a few goals today.
Hey, Mid-Major Matt, nice to have you on here. Liam likes the Blue Jackets in 6. Stephanie Fisher, thanks for your nice joke. Deep Thoughts by Habs Fans. I love it.
That's a good book. That would be a good book.
Yeah, it would be empty. There's I was telling my 19-year-old daughter last night, there's a book, Everything Men Think About That Is Not Sex. You can buy this book. I don't know if that's the official name, but that's the concept of the book. It's 400 empty pages. Yeah. So, hey, they should have had at least 1 page for hockey, don't you think? So, St. Louis, Vancouver. Oh, by the way, I think Montreal has a shot in this game. I'm passing. There is no bet I'm making on this game. St. Louis, Vancouver. Man, Carm, you really like St. Louis. You have all playoffs. Vancouver looked awesome last game. They were flying, man. They are a lot faster than the St. Louis team. St. Louis is an awesome coach. 4 very tough lines. They're going to make adjustments. I think St. Louis is the play today. I could really see this series going 7.
Yeah, listen, they did not play well at all. I think, uncharacteristic of this team. 3 power play goals allowed. They usually don't do that. Binnington did not have a good game. I don't know what his exact record is. I know that in going into last year's playoffs, when they lost game 1, I think it was, against the Sharks, his bounce back record off a loss is usually very good. It was like 10-2-1. I don't have updated numbers through the regular season and stuff, but he didn't look good. But I have to believe, if you believe that zigzag theory, and the Blues will play a better game here because they don't want to go down 2-0 to this team, that they've got to bounce back. I'd rather take the price in regulation, even though lane minus 145 isn't a lot. You get that, obviously, you get overtime, but you can get them at even money on the 3-way line in regulation, and that might be a better bet because I think, or I have to believe, this Blues team is better than what we saw in game 1.
Yeah, I'm with you there, dude. Dave, what's up?
Well, I'm a little worried about Binnington.
Yeah, he did not have a great season. I mean, this is not a new thing. Yeah. The whole season he was mediocre.
He hasn't been, well, I wouldn't say mediocre, but he hasn't been as good this season as he was. He's still a good goal. But he has not played well since this thing started. And they still haven't won a game.
Yeah.
They're 0-4. Yeah. And he's been pretty bad in a couple of those games. And I was thinking, watching the game the other night, and he let in a couple of really bad goals in that game. It's like, wow, Berube's he's in a tough spot here. Because you really can't just sit Binnington. But I got to tell you something. He's going to have a short leash today. And if Binnington comes out and struggles again, I think you got to turn to Jake Allen because you can't go down 2-0. Markstrom was having some short side issues in the Minnesota series, and he seemed to shore those up. Looked like he was very focused on protecting the short side against the Blues, so good work by Markstrom. And here's the scary thing about Vancouver. This is a team that I have not been particularly high on in terms of this year. I think their best years are ahead of them. They've got some tremendous young talent. But I thought Minnesota's experience was going to get them in the first series, and I got that wrong. It was a very competitive series, but the Canucks were the better team. And they went out and played game 1. And this is, they're coming out of a series, and St. Louis is relaxed, taking it easy. That's a game the Blues are supposed to win. And they didn't. And I got to tell you, this Vancouver team now has a load of confidence. I think the Blues win this game. There isn't a chance in the world I'll lay the price with the Blues to find out. I think they could be in trouble. It's one of those things where I'm glad they priced it as high as they did. If this line had come out 130, it might have been, okay, well, I've got to take the Blues that price. But it's 140, 145, 150. So they've managed to price me out of the game, and I'm real comfortable sitting this one out.
Yeah, Dave, just to add to that, okay, if the confidence isn't there for Binnington, you've got to go to Jake Allen. I'm not a fan of Jake Allen, but he had a good season, 12-6-3.
And here's the other thing, is if Binnington's confidence is shaky, they won't say it, but the team's confidence in him will be shaky as well.
Yeah.
He needs to not. Here's the key. He needs to have a good first period and not let in another shit goal. Because if that happens, then I think Berube's got a really tough decision on his hands. Yeah,
and it makes sense because Binnington is the guy that got them there last year. But
yes, Yep.
Yeah, I think you've got to go with Binnington tonight. But I think if he has a bad game, he's gone. You got to come.
Hey, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, there's no way I'd be advocating starting Allen. You've still got to go with Binnington to start the game, but you're going to have to keep an eye on it here.
Yeah, nice to see you, Matt Carpenter, Hulk. What's going on? Anthony, Fiola, Eric Burnett, James Wade, Matt Murray. Love having you guys join us on Puck Time. And as you can see, yes, my dog is in my lap. Her name is Vegas, and she is 15 years old, and she is the Puck Time mascot. There she is. And obviously, I'm a dog lover, so I love my dog.
15 Vegas is 15 years old. What's that in dog years?
It's
105.
Oh, so she was around when the last.
I didn't want to bother with the math. 7 times 15 is 105, but it's a smaller dog, and smaller dogs live longer. So that there's a little bit of an imbalance there. That's a 7-year thing is not really accurate because it's factoring in all dogs.
Right.
And for big dogs.
Yeah, Burmese, which is my favorite dog, lives to 7, 8, 9 years old.
Right. So that's not 7 years for them, and for smaller dogs, it's a lot.
Well,
less
the
than
Chihuahuas and whatnot could make it to 20, 22 years old. But Dave, I brought her on because I didn't want you to feel like the old guy on the show.
I'm not the old guy on the show.
Yeah, Vegas is. We need Puck Time merchandise.
I'm young.
I'm working on it.
Wes says, "Hey, Prez." Well, hey, Wes. Nice to see you. Beach Boss. My dog eats her own poop. What can your dog do? So the answer, Beach Boss. My dog eats her own poop. What can your dog do? My dog doesn't eat her own poop. Therefore, that's what my dog does, and I'm pretty pleased about it. Because who the hell wants a dog who eats her own poop? Could you imagine them coming and licking you? Oh my God, that's a disaster. Hey, Big Drew, Patrick Anson, what's up, my brother? Nice to see all of you guys. Keep smashing that like button. Thank you so much. Okay, boys, 2 more games to go. Washington Capitals, very important game for them. They got big aspirations this summer. Minus 125, Islanders plus 105. Total of 5.5. And Dave, I'll go to you first on this one. What do you think?
I watched the entire first game, and 5-on-5, the Islanders were a lot better. So, you can't rely on special teams to win games. You might get fortunate in that area, and if the Islanders take penalties and the Capitals capitalize, then good for them. But I got to tell you, 5-on-5, they got their ass kicked in that game. And that's basically what I look for most in the NHL is what's the 5-on-5 play look like, because I think you're going to get a pretty good read. Special teams are more of a guess. I think the Capitals are in trouble. I would not be at all surprised. I know the zigzag says take the Capitals, but I don't like them. I'm not getting the price I want with the Islanders because the odds makers appear to have done the same thing. Damn this thing.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm swearing about my mouse. It's getting up there to one. Now it's up to 130, huh?
Well, I got the Islanders here at plus 105.
Yeah, I think you wait around till game time. You might be able to do a little better on that. I don't want the Capitals. I know that. I'm gonna.
Yeah, this is a pass game for me, Carm, but I actually do like the over a little bit. Also, one of our listeners said, "What's the best sports book to bet hockey?" Carm and I.
The one where you get the best price.
Well, okay, yes, Dave, that's true.
Well, that question always bothers me. It's like
no, but let me explain, Dave.
Wait, let me answer. Okay, the question is implying that you only get your choice of one book. You shop around. You have accounts at more than one book. I have 10. I actually have 11. I added one. I have 11 different accounts. 11. If you're betting to make money, if you're betting for amusement, bet with your local guy and have some fun. It doesn't matter. If you're betting to make money and you're operating with one book, then you're not betting to make money. You have to have multiple outs the price differences, whether it's point spreads or money line, if you add them up at the end of the year, the amount of money you save on your losses and that you make more on your wins will stagger you. You might not notice one bet at a time. You might not notice it, but at the end of the year, if you're tracking things on a spreadsheet or a ledger, you will be amazed at how much more money you will make by having multiple outs. So the question about which is the best book to bet, it's the one that you have the best line on. And if you're only using one line, it doesn't really matter.
Well said, dude.
Yeah, I agree with them. You listen, go online to some of the sites that the good sites that rate the sports books. Open accounts. You don't have to deposit.
Yeah, be careful about the sites that rate the sports books, please, people. That whole concept is a joke.
Yeah. Well, they're sponsored.
Yeah, they're actually getting paid by the sports books to rate them.
Well, you look at the ones that are at the bottom of it, right? Obviously, in the States, you don't have Pinnacle. You can't. It would be great if Pinnacle came back into the market.
That's not going to happen.
Bet365. They'll apply for licenses. They have one in New Jersey. But just have as many as you can and watch the lines and just see. You'll see a difference. And like Dave said, if you're doing proper record keeping, you'll notice at the end of the year you're making money by shopping for the best line possible.
Well, it's going to be substantial. I mean, it's a massive difference. Carm, Washington or the New York Islanders?
Listen, I told you I thought coming in the Islanders were the better team coming into this, and I really didn't see anything in Game 1 that changed my mind. The Islanders were undisciplined, way too many penalties. I think there was 25 minutes in penalties just in that first period with no goals. A couple, one fight, a few offsettings, but 2 power play goals were all the Islanders got. Or all Washington got. 5-on-5. Isles outscored them 3-0. Like Dave said, they were the better team. I just like what the Islanders have been doing, and I did release them as a 5% play to win the series. So I'm glad that they're up 1-0. If you subscribe in that zigzag theory, then you'd have to go with Washington here, and they did get some money early on today because they were at 115. They went to 120 and then 125, and they're, like Dave said, I think they're at 130 at last I saw. Unlike you, Prez, I'm actually leaning to the under here again. It's one of those things again where the Islanders just have to lock them down 5-on-5, not take those undisciplined penalties, and they may be able to get out of here with a 2-0 series lead. That first period under I was looking at as well too, which is 1.5. 1.5 minus 120 on the under. So you don't have to pay a lot of juice. And if you subscribe to the theory that the Islanders are going to play them tough again and forecheck them into the ice, then the under 1.5 is probably a play.
You got it. Okay, let's talk business, everybody. We're at 81 likes. I want 19 in the next 2 minutes. Let's go. Also, 19 more. I want to get to 100. It's important to us. Also, one of you guys wanted a Netflix recommendation. I told you all to watch Fear City. It's a 3-episode show. It's about how New York took down the mafia in the 70s and 80s. It's absolutely incredible. I just started last night World's Most Wanted. It's only 5 episodes. I watched the episode on the White Widow. I thought it was phenomenal. But I watch them all. So, I mean, you guys let me know what type of shows. If you like drama, I'll give you drama. If you like action, I'll give you action. But in the summertime, I spend most of my time reading books. As I said earlier, I'm reading the Gray Man series by Mark Greaney, which Netflix just picked up, Carm. And they're going to be doing a Gray Man series of movies with Ryan Gosling playing the Gray Man. They're going to be throwing about $200 million at each movie. So they're going straight after the Bourne and the Mission Impossible type of budget. It's going to be unbelievable. And if anyone knows anything about the Gray Man, he's the second biggest badass of all time behind Mitch Rapp. And Mitch Rapp is 18 books deep. I've read them all. And the 19th book comes out in September. Guys, we're still at 81 likes. What's up? What's up?
Refresh.
Oh.
Because I see us at 107.
Oh my God, 106. I love you, people. Okay, Calgary, Dallas. Man. So I want to talk about this game quick. One of you guys said, okay, what's a good sports book to bet at, which we were just talking about. And obviously Dave's answer is the correct one. But I will say this. Carmen, I love Bet365. Bet365 offers a few really interesting quirks. Firstly, if your team is up by 3 goals, your ticket is cashed, even if they lose. That has actually happened twice in the playoffs already. It happened in the first Vegas Knights game, where Vegas was down by 3 and came back. And it happened it happened in the Toronto Maple Leaf game, where Columbus was up by 3 and the Leafs came back. So,
Can I interrupt for a second? Can we get a show of hands from the listeners of how many are in Canada and how many are in the United States? Because if you're in the United States, you ain't betting at Bet365.
That's true, but we actually do have a ton of Canadians that are in here.
Well, I know that, but you're still, it's kind of like Pinnacle.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, but I want to tell you a story.
You have to have an agent.
Yeah.
If you want Penny or Bet365. There are agents out there. Okay?
Superman, you live in Thailand? Oh my God, look at this, Dave. Australia, Canada, Colombia. Nicholas, I've been to Colombia. Love that place. It's stunning. Mexico. Talisman, you're in Toronto? Awesome, dude. You play poker? Raymond Reddington in Norway? Look at this. We're just going to... Good job, Dave. Anyway, long story short... I bet last night Dallas Flames. So let's say I bet $1,000 to win. Let's say I bet 11. Whatever. Let's say it was to win $1,000. When they were up 4-2, they gave me a cash out option. I was able to cash my bet out. If I would have won 1,000, I was able to cash my bet at $920 at 4-2. I did it. And that's one of the reasons I love Bet365. Then they gave me Calgary at plus 1,100 going into the third period. And, well, I took it. Almost pulled both of those off. So, definitely check out Bet365. That was my Dallas-Calgary story. Carm, I like the over in this game a lot. And I think we're going to get a strong game by Calgary. Last year, it was 1-1. They lost that third game and never won another game again. They know this is the key game. I lean on Calgary, but I really like the over.
I haven't decided which way I'm going to go on this, to be honest with you. But listen, I expected the Stars to bounce back, much like I talked about yesterday. I expected Carolina to bounce back. This still has the makings of a 6 or 7 game series. Obviously there were Stars were helped by the fact that Talbot didn't have a good night. It was an off night for him, definitely. And you're probably going to see Riddick in that tonight. I think Jeff Ward maybe goes with gives Riddick his first start of the playoffs. There's no goalie confirmations yet, and I haven't seen anything trending on Twitter.
I've got it up right now. No,
nothing yet, right?
Nothing yet. But I think you can assume that it'll be Khudobin back in for Dallas, and I think they're going to have to go with Riddick here. But although I'm not the coach, Talbot wasn't great last night, and Bishop was not good. We might not see him. I got to tell you something. We might not see any more of Bishop. Khudobin's the better goalie.
Yeah. Well, I think so too, and the bookmakers feel the same as I do right now because they've got this lined at minus 110 both ways. So this is likely just gonna be a client play that goes out or goes up for free later because I want to see who the goalies are, but I kind of tend to agree with you, Prez, on the total here of 5. You have to lay a bit of juice on it, but over or nothing for me in this game right now.
So here's my take on the game. The Flames didn't play well at all for most of last night's game. I mean, they got the very quick goal, but they were outplayed until the third period. And then the Dallas Stars turned into the dumbest team on earth.
Yes.
I mean, and believe me, I had Calgary in the game, and it's like, I'm dead. Okay, I'd already posted the game. I had written in my ledger as a loss. I posted it on Twitter. It's a loss. And then they just played some of the worst hockey imaginable in the last 10 minutes. You get a double minor, and they got lucky there because the guy kicked it. It was a good call, but they took a Calgary goal off the board. And I will say the Dallas penalty kill was outstanding. Then Radulov takes a really bad penalty. You just cannot take that penalty up 4-3. They tie the game. And I got to tell you, Dallas is lucky that game. They managed to get a goal. Calgary had a breakdown. That game goes in overtime. I think
they're likely going to lose.
I think the Flames might have stolen it, especially with Bishop being a.
Such a great pass from Corey, man.
Yeah, it was.
It was a great play.
We don't even know what's going on with Tkachuk right now.
No, I don't know that either.
Here's the thing: is he took one to the groin or something.
Do you think that was a mistake? No. Like, do you think that was by accident? I watched that 3 or 4 times in reverse.
Yeah, I do.
He gets under your skin.
I know, but I don't think. Let's just say that while there's intentional hits, shots to the nuts don't fall into that.
Well, not in my league, they do.
Well, you're not exactly the NHL.
But the thing, as far as tonight goes, is the fact that
he's got a potential concussion.
Yeah, it's the other hit, and if he goes into concussion protocol, which they've done throughout the year, so they shouldn't change it in the playoffs. We may not see him.
That's right.
For 2-3 games of this series, or at all. So.
And he the way he was helped off.
Yeah.
He at least got a mild concussion. Yeah. So we'll see how much they're paying attention to that protocol, because if this is the regular season, there's not a chance in the world he's playing tonight. But in the playoffs, I don't know. If I knew everything going in, I might take Calgary here. I don't know enough, but it's the late game, so I've got all day to kind of mull it over.
He's Dave Koken. I'm the Prez. Carmine Bianco with us. Carmine, are there any live betting stoppage times going on this weekend?
No, there isn't. We cleaned it up with the last one on Tuesday. We'll restart it again in the EPL in September. But I did send all of the profits from the 4 shows. I sent them over to our Detroit crew last night via PayPal. Told them for the bunch of them to go out for drinks and dinner on me.
Well,
me and Nick, I guess.
Well, I mean, listen, we all know you're the nicest guy around. Awesome show, both of you guys. Thank you for joining us. Next week, we're back Monday. No Andrew for the week. Buster will be stepping in a few times. And, of course, me, Dave, and Carm can handle a lot of this ourselves. Can't thank you guys all enough. Everybody. Hey, Richard Casey, North Ender. How are you, boys? Awesome stuff, man. We got over 100 likes. Next week we're going for 200. Dave and Carm, I wish you nothing but the best tonight and this weekend. Let's all win lots of money. Later, everybody.